Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. McKenna Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, McKenna Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, McKenna Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today, located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Good afternoon, Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League fans, into this Saturday afternoon edition of MFHL Game Day on your home for MFHL hockey on G-Show Productions on gshow.ca. It's number 1 versus number 3 going head-to-head against each other today. The third-ranked Winnipeg Ice taking on the number 1 seed right now in the MFHL in the Eastman Selects. I'm your host for this pregame show, Graham the G-Show Forsyth. Also will be your play-by-play commentator, as always, for this afternoon's matchup. MFHL Game Day brought to you by goaltenders, McKenna Fasteners and Tools, Can Central Sports Cards, and Terrico. We'll take a look at how this week has started off in the MFHL. The Winnipeg Ice got a day off yesterday because they were in action on Wednesday. Interlake Lightning ended up not getting the day off. They were the team to play instead of Winnipeg on Friday as 4 matchups were played. But the Winnipeg Ice started off strong with a 5-0 victory over Interlake at home on Wednesday night. On the road today to face off against the Eastman Selects, who just keep rolling here. A huge 4-2 win over the Winnipeg Abros last night in Winnipeg's home barn at Seven Oaks Sportsplex, or Seven Oaks Arena. This is how the standings look right now. The Eastman Selects have now jumped over the Winnipeg Abros for first place, given that they lead the head-to-head in the season series against that Winnipeg squad. As for the Ice and the Selects, though, out of the Selects, 3 losses so far. One of them coming to the Winnipeg Ice. One of them coming to the Winnipeg Avers, as well as the Westman Wildcats. For the Winnipeg Ice, they just continue to improve game in and game out as this season goes along. Went on a bit of a losing streak earlier on this year, but have really found their game as of late. Really starting to push for the spacing between them and the Winnipeg Avros Eastman Selects at the top, as they're only separated by 12 points now. This is a huge game for Winnipeg as well. If they're able to win this, they'd stay ahead. They'd ensure themselves they'd stay ahead of the Yellowhead Chiefs in the standings, as they'd have a 3-point advantage after this afternoon in that regard. As for how the schedule looks on this Saturday, 4 games are going to be played. Only one afternoon game, this game here this afternoon between the Selects and the Winnipeg Ice. Brandon at home to take on the Yellowhead Chiefs tonight. Central Plains at home to take on the Winnipeg Avros. And Interlake welcoming in the Westman Wildcats to their home at the Veterans Memorial Complex in Stonewall, Manitoba. 3 games on tap tomorrow. Eastman will be back here at home to face off against the Westman Wildcats when that time comes. We'll get into the keys to the game now here heading into this one. As the Winnipeg Ice come in, a 14-4-2 record. They've really been hitting their stride as of late. Their depth has also been coming through big time throughout their past few victories. Sure, there's been players like Izzy Mann who have put up multi-point games, multi-goal games. Hallie Chablik also scoring a hat-trick last weekend for this squad in their big 13-2 victory over the Central Plains Capitals. But this year's Winnipeg Ice team has really seen that depth come through big time. They have at least 5 scorers with at least over 10 goals so far this year. You can make an argument that this year's Winnipeg Ice team is more well-balanced than last year's team that ended up going back-to-back to win the championship. The big thing today for the Winnipeg Ice, and a big part of their victory last time in OT against the Eastman Selects last month, was that they just didn't quit, and they kept attacking, they kept coming out the Eastman Selects, and that's something that Eastman, I feel like, kind of caught them off guard a bit as that game went along, and Winnipeg ended up looking like the stronger team by the end of it. So it's about going the distance again this afternoon against what has been, in my opinion, to this point, the most complete team in the MFHL in the Eastman Selects. A 21-2 record. The last time they lost was to the Winnipeg Ice, and if we take a look at when that game was played, as we also broadcasted it here on the network, last time these two teams faced off against each other was on Saturday, December 14th. So since then, Eastman hasn't lost a league game. Taking a look at this year's squad, not only have they been a juggernaut defensively, only 24 goals against in 23 games so far, they've also upgraded their offense. This is a team that's already scored more goals for this year compared to the 28 games they played last year where they scored 78. They're now up to 80, and a big part of that has been the new additions on this year's squad, adding to a really good core group of players already, bringing in the Rigaud twins, upgrading in net, and bringing in, Isabelle Carrier, as she has been sensational to start off this season. And all these pieces have been coming together nicely for the Selects. They started off a bit slow against the Winnipeg Avers last night, saw a big third period to be able to lift them over the Avers in that one, winning it 4-2. They're looking for revenge today, though. The last time a team beat them in the MFHL, like mentioned, it was back on December 14th, where the Winnipeg Ice squad was able to do it and beat them. We'll get into the players of the week before we start off here. We're going to get a chance to look at one of them today to watch her play in Hallie Chablik. Her and her Winnipeg Ice look to pull off what would be considered an upset given the standings here in what should be another classic here on MFHL Game Day. On your home for MFHL hockey on G-Show Productions. Both teams will be making their way out onto the ice here very soon, folks. Hope you enjoyed this pregame show. Puck drop and the national anthem coming up next here from Niverville, Manitoba at the Niverville Rec Center. Well, as mentioned, the last time these two teams played was actually here on MFHL Game Day back on December 14th in 2024, which saw the Winnipeg Ice win 2-1 in overtime in what was a tightly contested game. I'm sure we'll get the same coming into this one here today and throughout it. News from this Eastman Selects team, Addison Tomes. She will not be active today in the lineup as she's currently dealing with an injury that she suffered last week, or earlier this week in practices, I should say. Isabelle Labossiere gets the start for the Eastman Selects this afternoon. Bailey Grunwald in net for the Winnipeg Ice, and we are underway here. Starting goaltenders brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website at GordyTumilsonGoalies.ca. We're officially underway here for this first period of action, live from Niverville, Manitoba, between the Selects and the Winnipeg Ice. Schroeder's shot sails wide of the net there, off the backboards. In a loud environment here to start things off. Quite a few fans in the stands here this afternoon, which you absolutely love to see it, as this puck played back into the ice zone. Texiera spins around backhand, feeds this over to Lazarenko, who goes for a skate. Lazarenko offside on the play. She had Hallie Chablik with her. But yeah, for Hallie Chablik, what a week for her. In Week 10 action, as the league resumed last week. 6 points against the Central Plains Capitals in that 13-2 victory that the Winnipeg Ice had. And scoring her first career MFHL hat-trick in that victory as well. It's not just Chablik who can beat you and hurt you on this Winnipeg Ice team. Izzy Mann is now second in the league in points and second in goals. Carvalho can also do some damage too. Same with the player in Mann, like mentioned, was there in the slot, creeping up. But the puck didn't end up getting to her. It was cut off well by this Eastman Select squad, who's been so good defensively this season. A ridiculous pace they're playing at right now. 24 goals against in 23 games. Which is just absolutely remarkable. Isabelle Labossiere coming into this game tied first in the league in wins with her counterpart in Addison Tomes, as well as Adriana Almeida and Claire Merckx of the Yellowhead Chiefs. Almeida playing for the Winnipeg Avros. Heidinger kicks it up to her forehand before sending that in deep, as Delacqui will be first one on it. Plays it to Claire Hudson. Hudson gets it back to Delacqui. Delacqui to an outlet girl in number 4, Moisey, but Moisey has that taken away. It's played to Chloe Carrier, who plays this back into the Winnipeg Ice zone, trying to get it number 5 in Callie Remillard. Tried to play it up to Isabella Carrier, but couldn't get it there. Chloe Carrier couldn't send that in deep. Puck sent all the way into the Eastman Select zone. So we will get an ice in here. So we get another whistle, our second of the game, to stop play here with 17:53 remaining in this first period of action, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check them out at 995 Miltsteagle Drive if you do make the trip down to Winnipeg as well. Let's check out their website at cancentralsportscards.com to see everything they carry. And well, it's a pretty fun store to be in if you're into collecting sports cards and memorabilia. The Ice send that in deep, going off for a change. It was Nicholas who dumped it, as this stretched all the way up, connects with Isabella Carrier. Carrier just decides to send it in, and off the boards to Callie Remillard, who's denied there by Bailey Grunwald. Another face-off, this time coming inside the Winnipeg Ice zone. As the crowd continues to pack in here at the Niverville Rec Complex. Right now, a bit of discussion by the Winnipeg Ice net. So I think they're trying to get that puck out of the equipment of Grunwald as he got lost in there. And with that, we're set to go here for another face-off draw. Caitlin Schroeder ties up her girl on the face-off draw, allows for Eastman to win this. Held in at the point by number 11 in Normando. As Normando loses her stick. It's onto the stick of Talia Jones. Backhands this up to the point to Lazarenko. Through a screen, that shot wide of the net. Picked up by Robbins off the backboards, though, for the Winnipeg Ice to maintain possession. Up, back to Texiera, across to Lazarenko. Right back to Texiera. Shot through, turned aside, and smothered up by Isabelle Labossiere. As with just over 3 minutes gone in this period, 3:01 gone exactly. We got another face-off coming inside of the select zone. This time it'll be won by the selects and onto the stick of Beavis. Beavis looks to backhand this up, but can't, was stripped away by Carvalho. Chablik out there giving chase against Callie Remillard, or Lexi Remillard, that is. So Remillard play that up the left boards, but no further. Not enough to get out of the zone, at least, as the Winnipeg Ice continue to attack. Played around down low to Izzy Man into the low slot for Chablik. Had that contested. Carvalho tried to get to the net as well, but had that blocked up as the Eastman Selects able to get out of the zone. But Winnipeg right back in on the forecheck. Carvalho hounding on Lexi Remillard. As Remillard tries to feed that pass up to Kennedy Carrier. Carrier now gets tied up along the boards. A good forecheck here from this Winnipeg Ice squad. Chablik trying to scoop this loose puck out, trying to help out Carvalho. As 15 digs it out up to Walker. That shot through and handcuffing Isabelle Carrier a bit, or Labossiere. As we got another stop in play here. 3-1 the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice right now. So it'll be Callie Remillard to take the drop for the Eastman Selects. Ice able to get by Chloe Nicholas, unable to quite get a handle on that stick, as this will be chipped out now. Callie Remillard has Delaney Rigaud with her. Rigaud holds the line. That shot from Remillard, wide of the net it goes, as this backhanded in by Chloe Carrier in deep. Callie giving chase again, wins that race to the puck. Past Hudson, sticked away to the point, held in by Vaderigo. That shot can't get through, blocked up by our own teammate in Callie Remillard, but the Selects keep this in the corner and maintain possession of it. Remillard with Isabelle Carrier, trying to make a move as Isabella, but couldn't maneuver her way past Claire Hudson. Is now skinned out. Chloe Nicholas goes off the boards, sends this in deep. Carrier rubs out a girl along the boards in Moisey, but Nicholas in there for support. We got that loose puck out. It's played up now to Abby Dixon. Plays it in the direction of Delaney Rigaud, but this will be too far. No icing called on the play, however, as the ref ends up waving it off. As into the slot this goes. Abby Dixon trying to make her way towards the net, but couldn't squeeze through the Winnipeg Ice defense. Loose puck picked up by Lazarenko. Plays it to an outlet girl. Lazarenko gets it back, but a misplay. Can't handle that pass clearly and cleanly, but the Ice able to survive for the time being. This puck held in. Blake Hawes. Has it blocked up there by Wozdesensky. Trying to dangle through, but Normando, a huge defensive stick there to take it away. Wozdesensky has it back. The OT hero last time out. Sent a shot on net. That was turned aside. Sent it out in front again, but that finding nobody as it's onto the stick of Abby Dixon. Passes across to Danielle Hepner. Shoots through a body. Turned aside by Grunwald. As this Moisey off the boards, Sophia Ota that was, stripped away by Heidinger, plays it over to Carrier, back to Heidinger, who has that turned aside by number 1 and Bailey Grunwald here. As with that, we got another stop in play, 4-3 the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. So both teams getting comfortable in this one. Eastman down 1-0 after the first period last night against the Winnipeg Avers, but really started to get their game going. Outshot them 47-28 and ended up winning it 4-2. Huge third period where they scored 3 unanswered. They're looking for first blood this afternoon, but wide of the net that went. Kennedy Carrier back on it. Backhand side of the net turned aside. Off of that left shoulder of Bailey Grunwald. Ice trying to get this out, but can't quite. A strong forechecking continues from this Eastman team. Played off the boards into the direction of Cheyenne Scott Cook. A bit too far for her, as this puck remains in the corner. The Winnipeg Ice Trying to maneuver out, playing it up the right wall, and they do just that. Pass to the middle, quickly there, up to Carvalho in the neutral zone. Carvalho just past the red line, sends this all the way in deep. We're giving chase, and first one on will be Chablik, getting good positioning on Lexi Remillard. Decides to play that all the way to number 12. Plays it up to Delicately, back to Cairns. Kate Cairns on the puck, strongly gets this down low, but it will be cut off by Beavis, out of the reach of Moisey. Is now picked up by Isabella Carrier, who tries to go off the boards to Delaney Rigaud. Too far for her. Is icing called here on the play. So we'll get a face-off draw coming right back inside the Eastman Select zone. Kate Cairns, full-time member of this ice squad this season, in on the draw against Callie Remillard, loses this. This is back to Lexi Remillard. The Twins out there on the ice together, turned over through the middle of the ice, trying to pounce, but they can't quite. Huge recovery by the Selects. As this sent all the way into the neutral zone and off the boards. Almost some danger there from the Eastman Selects team, but as has been the case all season long, always recovering so well. Chloe Nicholas tried to dangle her way past, but denied by the good stick of an Eastman defender. This onto the stick, Chloe Carey tries to cut in, loses this onto the stick of Hepner, tried to get that shot through, but couldn't. So now this played to the middle. Talia Jones tries to kick it outside to Leah Texiera. Texiera sends this in deep. Abby Dixon drops this back for Vaderigo. Tries to cut up the middle. Another turnover off the shoulder. Huge save there from number 1 and Labossiere. Sorry. Off of her left shoulder and out of play. And this is something that the Eastman Selects have to settle down here and really right the wrongs on to get a bit more comfortable in their defensive zone. Playing the puck up the middle is coach's worst nightmare, and the fact that they turn it up the middle twice there in the same shift. Most recently off of the stick of Vaderigo, which usually we've seen number 17 so smart with this puck this season. A bit of nerves maybe for this Eastman Selects team early on against what's been a strong Winnipeg Ice forecheck when they've gotten on it in the offensive zone. This sent down low. Robbins going to work along with Wozdesensky. Out there with Talia Jones as well. Played up to the point. Texiera sends this, or tries to send it back down. Couldn't quite get it there. It's this backhand failed to clear out for the Eastman Select squad. Well, they go again. Normando played that pass up, but had it whacked away. It's picked up again by Carvalho, who tries to cut to the middle, gets taken out, no call on the play. It's this down low, Blake Hawes, along with Normando pinned up. Held at the point, that shot, oh, deflection out in front, just wide of the net, off of Carvalho's stick, as she got in all alone there on Isabella Labossiere. This may be a break for the Eastman Selects. Loose pick picked up by Kennedy Carrier, dropped Heidinger, that shot turned aside off the glove. And into it of Bailey Grunwald. 10:38 remaining now, just over halfway left in this first period of action. Shots 5-4 in favor of this Winnipeg Ice squad. Played all the way down, back into the select zone, off the boards, no icing. Isabella Labossiere leaving that for a teammate in Scott Cook. It's onto the stick of Lexi Remillard now, who couldn't quite get that out. It was back down low for Beavis. Played off the boards, but couldn't go any further. She was cut off. Now picked up loose puck by Scott Cook. Scott Cook has that whacked away by Cairns. As Cairns goes off for a change. The Selects do as well. We'll see if the Ice can take advantage of this open space. They can't. As Scott Cook able to get a stick in, but now on to Robin's stick. Tries to angle through. Oh, nice defensive play there by Vader Rigaud to get her skate in the way to eliminate that dangle chance. Onto the stick of Delaney Rigaud now, trying to drive to the net, but has that stripped away by Lazarenko. Plays it over to Isabella Carrier. She can't make a move through. Number 9 there, and Robbins plays this shortly back to Talia Jones. D to D she goes to Delacqui. Delacqui fans on that pass attempt out as this remains inside of the ice end. Onto the stick, Lazarenko up to Wozdesensky. She looks to Dangle. Dangles through indeed. Oh, at the last moment, cut off there as Abby Dixon in for support to knock Wozdesensky off the puck. She stays out there. First one on this puck, backhanded into the slot, but no one there. All her teammates changed. Wozdesensky's still out there. She elects to go off for a change now as the Eastman Selects send this in deep. Trying to get it to the low slot there. Vader Rigaud couldn't find Schroeder. Schroeder back on it in the corner. Plays it up to the point to Haas. Haas, her shot blocked on the way through. Ends up into the end boards. So now the Selects try to get in on the forecheck. Had a good cycle game going a few minutes ago in this one. But as of late, the Winnipeg Ice find another gear in their game. Created some high danger chances. As this whipped across, picked up onto the stick of Walker, being pressured by Hepner. Walker gets it over to Ota. Ota plays it to an outlet girl who sends this nice pass across to Carvalho. Carvalho coming down the left side. She elects to shoot it. Can't beat the 5-hole there of Labossiere. Denied her on that left side of the post. Back up top to Ota. Goes down low to Cairns, backhanded into the slot. Ice player tied up there in Carvalho. But the Selects still can't get this out. Blake Haas now recovers this loose puck up the boards. Walker pinches down, takes away that left wall chip for Haas, or that right wall as I should say. Scott Cook turns this over down low onto the stick of Moisey. Plays it up to the point to Claire Hudson. Hudson back down low onto the stick of Moisey to Nicholas. Nicholas has it stripped away. Picked up again by Moisey as she has it on the backhand. Now up top off the boards to Delacqui. Her pass over D to D misses Hudson, and that allows for Heidinger to chip this puck out with 7:19 remaining now in this period. Kennedy Carrier trying to forecheck Delacqui. Delacqui just able to get by. This puck played across now into the direction of Moisey. Has this stripped away. Beavis picks it up. Glove save made by Bailey Grunwald. So it looked like it almost handcuffed number 1 a bit there. Both of these teams early on have had some trouble against the other's forecheck. The Ice have been forcing some uncharacteristic mistakes in the select zone from this Eastman squad so far with their good pressure. And they won't stop attacking here. Robbins has Texiera heading to the net. Feeds Texiera! Oh, that denied! Rebound scores! Well, the pressure kept mounting for the Winnipeg Ice in this period, and it's been this line that's been at the center of it all. And what an effort it's been from number 9 and Gabby Robbins throughout this period. She feeds a beautiful pass across to thread it onto the stick of Texiera. She's denied with that first chance, but Robbins follows it up, puts that rebound home past Labossiere. And for the Winnipeg Ice, that goal brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, up 1-0 over a team that they're the most recent team to beat in the MFHL in their last matchup back on December 14th. As that shot turned aside by Labossiere. That goal, by the way, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Shots down 9-5 in favor of this Winnipeg Ice team. Izzy Mann on to take the draw. As this draw won by the Ice. Chablik in for help, gets it up to the point. Chablik back now, down low, she feeds it back to Chablik. That shot unloaded on, but turned aside by Labossiere. This number 1 continues to stay busy here in this first frame. The Selects get a line change. The Ice keep their forwards out. Man to take the draw against Scott Cook. Strong win by number 15 for the Selects into the corner. Beta Rigaud, though, double team there. Almost turned it over, but able to get it free to space. Gets it free up to Heidinger now, who drives to the net. Heidinger has that poked away slightly. Lost a handle on it, but got it up to the point to Chloe Carrier, who sent it back down low to an outlet girl in Chaplik. Quickly fires this across to Walker. Walker now back in the area of Chaplik, but couldn't get it there to number 15. Chaplik clogged the wall well, though, to not allow that puck to go up any further. And now Heidinger gets stood up there by Ota, but keeps going with it. Sends it across to Kennedy Carrier. But that pass was behind her. Blake Haas with it in the neutral zone. Goes D to D to Normando. Normando up to Heidinger. Tries to redirect this in, but cannot. Met by a swarm of ice players there. There's now 3 in that area. Trying to get this loose puck out. Same with 3 selects players. It'll be the Ice who do get it out, work this D to D successfully. Walker plays a pass up to Chaplik, tries to fire this in quickly, but Normando was right there, all up in her grill. Forces this turnover onto Delaney Rigaud's stick, across to Scott Cook. That shot low, deflected off of a stick of Grunwald off that save. And into the end glass. It's the Ice unable to clear this out. Beavis' shot hits her own girl in front. And Delaney Rigaud, she couldn't get that through. Is this stripped away again by Callie Remillard. Sends this in deep. So it's the Winnipeg Ice in their own end. Finally chip this puck out. Delaney Rigaud gets it right back, chips it in again. How's a girl heading to the net with her? That shot turned aside by Grunwald as Delaney elected to shoot instead of feed that across. As both of them having a conversation with each other, heading back to the bench, her and Callie. They get some fresh legs out for this Eastman Selects team nonetheless. As Hepner tie up on that draw, wins it back to the point to Chloe Carrier, but Carrier mishandled that pass. It's Wozdesensky who got on it first for the Winnipeg Ice. She's back on it, on the wall. In for help. As both teams try to get this loose puck free, and they do just that. Wozdesensky giving chase down low. It gets a bit physical on Chloe Carrier, but Carrier able to rim that around. Turned over as Texiera jumped up into the play. But the Selects able to survive. Getting this one out, kicked out to Abby Dixon. The captain stick handling, fires this on net. Rebound controlled well there by Grunwald. Puck fired out in front again. As this to the corner, Hepner. Fanned on that attempt to the net. Back up to Haas from the point. That shot off its mark. It's Texiera. Behind the back pass up the left wall to Wozdesensky. Now Gabby Robbins, the goal scorer in this game, gets a stick on the puck there to send this in deep. It will be picked up by Normando, plays it over to Hawes. Up to Kennedy Carrier, who moves this up the right side to Scott Cook. Scott Cook eliminated there from the play. She was cut off well by Carvalho. Puck ends up down low. Carvalho back on it. Now Scott Cook pressures her and forces a bit of a turnover. Down low, going to work. 2 Ice players trying to get this loose puck free, and they do just that. As they're able to just chip this out. Nice play by Carvalho, and she makes her way up into the select zone now. Has a girl with her, and Matt handing to the net. Decides to shoot. Rebound controlled well there by Carrier, or by Labossiere into the corner. This loose puck now picked up. Lexi Remillard goes for a skate, decides to just send this on net just past the blue line. A save made by Grunwald, turning that aside. Moisey, her backhand pass, can't fire up the middle at first. Now she does get that over to Cairns. Cairns decides to just send this in deep. But it'll be the Selects' first one on it. Delaney Rigaud, her pass up the middle, can't go at first. Continues on with skating and gets this puck back. Passes over to Isabella Carrier. That shot deflected and into the netting. In the end glass, with 2:02 remaining in this period of action. Period brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Callie Remillard back on the draw, wins this to Normando. Up to Chloe Carey, deflected out in front, trying to find that was Delaney, but couldn't. It's the Rigaud twins out there right now, trying to make some magic happen late here in this period. Chloe Carey picks up this loose puck at the slot, tries sending it to the net, but good congestion there from the Winnipeg Ice to block that up and take this the other way. Sent in deep. Delaney Rigaud, or Vita Rigaud that is, runs into Labossiere, almost trouble. A nightmare situation there for the Eastman Selects. They're able to get out of it. Some miscommunication from the netminder and one of her defensemen that were out there. Played off the boards. Hepner cuts this off as the Ice unable to clear this out. Puck along the right boards. Picked up by Schroeder now. Tries sending this towards the net. So we're into the final minutes of play here of this first period of action. The Eastman Selects looking to get this puck into their possession. The Ice looking to get it out. It'll be the Ice who do just that. Talia Jones kicked it up to her in her skates and sent it into the Eastman Select zone. Blake Hawes sends us all the way down for Eastman, and Ison coming up here on the play. With 37.6 seconds left on the first period clock. So all five will remain out there for this Eastman Selects team. The Ice taking advantage, getting the fresh set of legs out on the ice. The man line out as it's won by Izzy Man. Passed it up to the point to Lazarenko, back down low to Man. Fed out in front. Couldn't get it there as it was cut off by the Selects. It's Carvalho in the neutral zone. Backhands this to Man. Man decides to just send this in deep with 15 seconds remaining now. Carvalho trying to get in on the forecheck here. Trying to force a turnover, but couldn't. Eastman strong enough to get this puck out. And unless Eastman's able to force maybe a quick turnover in here, get a shot. They won't do that as the buzzer sounds for this first period of action, which is now officially in the books. A period where the Winnipeg Ice led it 11-9 in shots. Gabby Robbins finds the back of the net to break the ice for the first time here today, no pun intended. But yeah, giving her team the 1-goal lead. Yeah, you know, Eastman, I heard last night from one of their parents that she felt that their squad started a bit slow. I guess today, you know, they had some good looks, but looking to shore up the details, especially in their own end. Way too many times have we seen this team go up the middle and turnovers have been forced. A bit of miscommunication around their own net as well. Something they'll want to shore up for sure moving forward. But you got to give credit to this Winnipeg Ice team. Like, it's kind of what I expected. And if you watched last game, you probably would have expected it too. That this team is just not going to let up on you. Like the Eastman Selects. They'll keep pressuring you and keep coming at you. So, going to be interested to see how the Winnipeg Ice continue to play this moving forward into the second period. And if this Eastman Selects team can find another gear here without two key pieces in their lineup, and Maya Grenier, who got injured a few weeks ago, and Addison Tomes, who, of course, ended up hurting herself earlier this week in practice. Thought Isabelle Labossiere has been pretty solid for the most part. She's been almost perfect, stopping 10 of 11 shots so far. As for Bailey Grunwald on the other side of things for the Winnipeg Ice, she's been perfect so far. 9 for 9 on the shots she's faced, making 9 saves so far. We'll see which teams look to find that next gear coming up in this next 20 minutes of action. We're going to send it to a commercial break, as well as showing you highlights from last Saturday's stream between the Winnipeg Avers and the Interlake Lightning, where Rio Pierre made MFHL history. You're watching Ice vs. Selects here on MFHL Game Day, though, on this Saturday afternoon on January 11th in 2025. The Selects look to get back into this one on the scoreboard, down 1-0, courtesy of Gabby Robbins scoring for the Winnipeg Ice to open things up here this afternoon.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, the Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
MFHL Game Day, the return here to G-Show Productions for the first time in 2025. We got what should be an exciting matchup here today between the Interlake Lightning, the visitors, taking on the home side, the Winnipeg Avros. This is played down low, picked up by Evie West. She looks to go for a bit of a skate before sending a cross-ice pass to Nolgren and finds Pierre. Pierre looks for 57 points, but denied there by number 30 in Tetlock. Nolgren giving chase on this puck now on Sydenham. Ends up into the shin pads of Liberty Amy. Rebound right there, but Nolgren contested well, boxed out well by the Lightning. Going to battle along the boards. Two Interlake Lightning players there. But this squirts up to Evie West. Accurate shot, rebound. Oh, hand-eye beauty there from number 19 in Wozni to give this Avro squad the 1-0 lead early. Celine Wozni opened up the scoring for the Avros moments ago. Rebound hero turned aside in tight. Pass across onto the backhand of Evie West. She makes her way past Staples, now looking to go towards the net, but nice job by Warnick. Get cut off number 21 as Kashlyn Kiesman kept it in deep for the Interlake Lightning. Skated up by Amy. She gets ridden out along the boards, but this puck failed to be cleared out by the Lightning as Pierre was able to hold that line, pick that up, but Pierre gets stripped of that pass now. It's Sire, her shot, oh, just high of the net. Into the Lightning zone with 34 seconds now remaining on this girl advantage. Miss pass off of the stick of Yantishin, now picked up by Wozni. Beautiful move by Wozni, cutting to the net. Oh, but a better save by Tetlock to sprawl out to make it. Circle back into their own end below the goal line. Decide to move the puck there as this puck up the boards, but unable to make it to a teammate. Picked up by Pierre as Pierre dangles and scores! The record's tied as Pierre, with her 57th point of the season, her 28th goal of the year, as she now joins JC Magwood and Christine Grenier for the all-time lead, tying in single-season points. As the Avros look to wheel this up. Celine Wozni now. She cuts through, gets this to Pierre. Pierre, here it is, potentially rebound there. Kept out by Tetlock for the time being. The Lightning work it into the low slot. That just picked off, and now picked off by the Avros onto the stick of Pierre. Coming down one-on-one on Thiessen, driving to the net, backhand denied into the 5-hole of Tetlock as she shuts the door. And the Avros do just that. Pierre dangles, looking to do it again to the backhand. Backdoor pass, scores! Liberty Amy finishes off what is a historic moment for this Winnipeg Avros squad. In one number 9 in Rio Pierre, she becomes the single-season all-time points record holder with 58. In now 23 games played. There'll be another face-off draw inside of the Lightning zone. Won by the Avros initially, but cut off there by the stick of Ann Thies, and Shelby Staples tried to dangle through, but couldn't. Has this puck stripped away. Lavely wraparound chance turned aside by Tetlock. Rebound still there, scores! In what's been a historic day at Seven Oaks Arena, with Pierre becoming the all-time points leader in a single season in the MFHL. 58 points now in 23 games played, the most any player has ever had in the history of this league in a single season. Welcome back into MFHL Game Day, ladies and gentlemen, and fans alike. Heading into this next period of action here coming up soon as the Zamboni is just making its way off of the ice now. So it's the Winnipeg Ice, the road team, up 1-0 after the first 20 minutes in this one. Shots were 11-9 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. Bailey Grunwald getting the start for the Ice in the pipes this afternoon, making 9 stops on all 9 shots she faced so far. Isabelle Labossiere getting the start for the Eastman Selects, playing her second game in a row as she played last night, and the Selects 4-2 victory over the Winnipeg Avros. Labossiere's made 10 of 11 stops so far in this game. Gabby Robbins ended up scoring the opening goal, following up on a rebound, putting it into the back of the net past Labossiere to draw first blood this afternoon for this Winnipeg Ice squad. As for the rest of this weekend's action, week 11 of MFHL play, there's going to be 3 games still to come today. Early evening game as the Brandon Wheat Kings welcome in the Yellowhead Chiefs to J&G Homes Arena. The Avros traveling to Portage tonight to take on the Central Plains Capitals at the BDO Center for the Community. And Interlake, the Lightning, at home at the Veterans Memorial Sportsplex in Stonewall, Manitoba to face off against the Westman Wildcats. Interlake playing 4 games this week. Playing tomorrow again against the Brandon Wheat Kings. Of course, they ended up playing last night as well, Interlake did. Eastman going to be back in action here tomorrow against the Westman Wildcats. And for the Central Plains Capitals, they'll have another game to play against the Pembina Valley Hawks, as Pembina Valley getting a day off after what was a huge 5-0 win for them yesterday over the Westman Wildcats. This is how the standings look. Given that the Eastman Selects beat the Avros last night, they're tied in points in the standings, but given the head-to-head, and that's the tiebreaker here, Eastman leads in that head-to-head now 2-1 over the Avros. But if Eastman's unable to come away with any points in this game today, and if Winnipeg's able to get a full 2 points tonight, then the Avros would end up reclaiming first place with still a game more played than the Eastman Selects have. But yeah, as for the Eastman Selects, I mean, I thought that they did some good things during that first period of action. I'd like to see them get cleaner in their defensive zone. We saw some uncharacteristic mistakes from a few players too that usually are cleaner with the puck. They've had a nice long intermission though to talk it over with each other to get their mindset right for this period coming up for the Winnipeg Ice. I mean, the line that stood out the most today for me has been Gabby Robbins' line along with Wostasensky, and I believe it's Talia Jones out there with the two. Yeah, they've been really at the forefront of everything offensively for this team so far here this afternoon, whether that's winning battles on the forecheck, getting opportunities on net, or like we saw, Gabby Robbins putting away that goal to make it 1-0 in that first period of action. So the response is what I'm most interested about from this Eastman Selects coming up in this period, and it's about for the Winnipeg Ice, how you're able to keep up this good game you've been building throughout the first 20 minutes as they went along, looking like the stronger team by the end of it for Winnipeg. We take a look now at the points leaders heading into this Saturday action in Week 11 of MFHL play. Rio Pierre leads in both goals and assists. As we can see there, Veda Rigo top 3 in assists. Izzy Men, top 5 in both goals and assists so far for herself. Jessica Anderson with a huge performance last night against Westman, going all the way to 2nd in the goals ranking. And as for the points leaders, Izzy Men, 2nd in the league coming in to today in points. Veda Rigo, 5th in points at 29. And if we take a look at the goaltenders here, a notable one playing in this game today, in Isabelle Labossiere. 10-0-2 so far this year with a .935 save percentage and 2 shutouts. Won't be adding a third to that mark, though. As mentioned, the Eastman Selects down 1-0 after the first 20 minutes of play. Shots are actually 11-10 in favor of the ice. So pretty much even in that regard throughout that first period. This next period of action, by the way, like our first period, was brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. This period, as we fix our period number here, make it a bit smaller, it's brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out their website at terico.ca to find out why. And as for goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service, be sure to check out their website at gordytomlinsongoalies.ca for more details. Always seems like there's some problems with how wet the ice is after the Zamboni cleans a fresh sheet here at the Niverville Sports Rec Complex. We'll be interested to see if it affects the way these teams play to start off this period. As we've seen, when that's happened, teams usually having some fits with the puck to start off in the first few minutes of the period if the ice is a bit wetter. But both these teams at their respective benches. As for the Winnipeg Ice, a team that, of course, has been defending champions for the back-to-back seasons that they played in this league. They've been back in the league since the late 2010s. And yeah, it's been 3 straight trips to the final for the Winnipeg Ice. You could argue it's been 4 straight finals, given that they made it back in 2019-2020 and were set up to play against the Winnipeg Avers. That series, of course, never happened. And yeah, it's a team that, of course, started off this season in the middle of the pack through the first few months, but have really found their stride as the season's been going along. Have been getting a lot of confidence. And in fact, Eugene Kaminsky, the head coach of this Winnipeg Ice team, when I spoke to him back when the last time these two teams played each other on December 14th, he said that was such a huge win for this team's confidence and for their swagger. And Winnipeg has really been playing with some swagger here this afternoon as we are underway. An icing called on the play. As for the Eastman Selects, as mentioned in the pregame show, this is a team that, in my opinion, been the most complete team in the MFHL all season long. When you take a look at the amount of goals for they have to goals against, to the way this roster is built, a coach's dream in many ways. But they find themselves in some trouble here early on in this game, down 1-0 to the Winnipeg Ice. But even though they haven't played their best, they're still in this one, down 1-0 only. I think that's something, if you're Laird LeLuc and this Eastman Selects coaching staff, that you take with a bit of a silver lining and say, hey, we're in this despite not playing our best hockey. So we're going to get this face-off back to center ice here coming up. With only 7 seconds played in this period so far. Draw won by the Winnipeg Ice, as Lazarenko blows a tire upon having that puck in her possession. The line that ended up scoring the first goal of this game for the Winnipeg Ice out there to start off, and Jones, Wostasensky, and the goal scorer, and Gabby Robbins. Robbins gets a good stick on that puck, sends it down low, which forces the Eastman Selects to break out 200 feet into the slot. That shot way wider than that there from Talia Jones. It's back up to Sierra from the point. That shot, trying to glove it down, was Isabelle Labossiere, but she couldn't. Puck still in the select zone. Off the backboards, the ice go onto the stick of Ota. Misplay with the puck, though. Almost a turnover forced, but picked up by Isabella Mann. Gets this up to Cassie Carvalho, who sends this in deep. Given chase on it will be Hallie Chablik. First one on the puck, keeps this down low to Carvalho, but that pass hops up over 16's stick. The ice able to still maintain possession of this puck inside the zone as it gets rimmed all the way around. Now onto the stick, Isabella Carrier tries to connect with Callie Remillard, but that pass unable to be cradled in by number 5. Given chase, Delaney Rigaud on Walker, and an icing called here on the play. That's just a heads up. Announcing's going to come back right away. We're just going to figure something out here behind the scenes. One moment, folks. Turned over, Talia Jones, up to Wasilewski. Wasilewski driving in. She pulls up, shoots that shot, just grazing off of the arm of Isabella Bossier. Held in by the Winnipeg Ice, controlling all of the momentum right now. Onto Robin's stick, feeds to Lazarenko, streaking up into the play. Turned aside by Labossier as Gabby Robbins showcasing that great passing ability of hers as well there, locating a teammate that got wide open in Lazarenko, pinching up. As now Robbins gets tied up with Lexi Remillard. Puck sent in deep by Texiera. Given chase on it. Beavis first one on it. Plays this up the left side. Heidinger has that taken away as Robbins came down hard on her. Puck sent all the way out by the Selects team now. And given chase on it, Texiera. There's no icing called on the play. Izzy Mann into the neutral zone. Carvalho had herself tied up with the Selects player. Walker back on it. Plays it up to Carvalho. Trips. No call on the play. It will be turned up the other way now by Delaney Rigaud. Unable to find Heidinger as that pass just out of her reach and all the way down for an icing. And I can feel it right now beside me from this group of Eastman Selects parents, but just frustration in their game right now. This is usually a team that's been so good at transitioning up all season long and has been the team that's dictated most of the pressure in games. So far here, though, this Winnipeg Ice team giving them fits. Maybe here's a break here for this Eastman Selects team as Heidinger draws a penalty. We'll be going to the power play for the first time this afternoon. For this Eastman Selects team, their first time getting into open space in quite a while results in Heidinger getting taken down hard there by number 10, an Easy Man. The Ice captain goes off to serve 2. And with that, Terrico, the sponsor for this power play for the Selects, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. We'll see what the Selects serve up here. Deflected high of the net there off the shot of Vader Rigaud into the corner. It goes Callie Remillard plays it up to the point. Chloe Carrier back to Remillard. Loses that puck in her feet. But the Selects get back right on it. The linesman gets in the way of that one and allows for the ice to get possession of it and send that all the way back out. Bad change here from the ice. Potentially, a bad communication. Display of communication there from the Eastman Selects as an offside called on the play. A lot of mayhem going on out on the ice. Is Eastman's penalty door open now? They got called for, I believe, a too many men here on that. Very unfortunate. As Caitlin Schroeder goes to serve this penalty. We're at 4-on-4. Lazarenko's blast from the point off of the draw, turned aside by Labossiere. This is up to Dixon in the neutral zone. Dixon about to be cut off, but chips this past Texiera. Continues on with it, now rubbed out in the corner by Robbins. Allows for Texiera to pick this puck up. Dixon stays hard on the forecheck. But this goes to Lazarenko, who plays this off the boards and all the way down. No icing called on the play as the linesman waves it off. Left here for Veda Rigaud. As Rigaud looks to go for a skate now. Veda almost cut off there by Texiera, but gets a pass into the slot. Heidinger's shot deflects high off of a ice player's stick, picked up by the ice. Now Kay Cairns flips this all the way across to Texiera. Texiera tries to dangle in. She does just that, trying to make another move through, but Veda Rigaud shuts her down on that second cut through attempt. As Heidinger on it now. Heidinger, her shot can't get through, blocked up by Kate Cairns. Blake Haas loses in her skates. Had some hesitation too, wasn't sure if she could pick up that puck again. Now Heidinger gets taken out. Or sorry, Cairns and both Heidinger get taken out. So with that, another penalty coming up here on the play. It'll be Sophia Heidinger going off 2 minutes for a trip. So in 11 seconds, once Izzy Mann comes back onto the ice for this ice squad, I'll have a 5-on-3 for an extended period of time. With 13:21 remaining here in this period of action, the Selects on to the penalty kill. Brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Eastman's goaltender looking to stand tall here, coming up in Isabelle Labossiere. In these next few minutes. So far, so good from the Selects as they're able to clear this all the way down. We're now on to a 5-on-3 for the next 30 seconds. As this play to Wasowski cuts to the middle, feeds this up to Izzy Mann, fresh out of the box. Mann feeds this across to a point girl in Carvalho. Back up top to Lazarenko, to Carvalho. She lets a blast go, that fired on, turned aside by Labossiere and just cleared out by Callie Remillard. 10 seconds remain on the 5-on-3. Still over a minute of power play time going to be remaining for this Winnipeg Ice squad. Gabby Robbins. That pass couldn't connect with her at the blue line. Eastman able to get this out. A 2-on-1 developing potentially. Hepner has Scott Cook with her. Hepner feeds it over to Scott Cook, but high of the net she goes. Shot a field goal instead into the back netting. What an opportunity there for that Eastman Selects penalty kill. The Ice have had some chances, sure, but gotta really like this if you're able to look from your group. You're getting pucks out frequently so far on what started as a 4-on-3, as I should say, turned into a 5-on-3, and you're even getting some shorthanded chances now. But still, with a minute left, the job ain't done here on this penalty kill. As the Ice look to play this up in hopes to create something to maybe put this to a 2-0 lead. That pass, not a great one there as it went into the skates of Scott Cook. This played up the right wall, and now Kay Cairns gets this to Talia Jones. Huge back check there by Scott Cook, takes out Talia Jones. I think Jones was looking for a penalty, but not going to get it there. Scott Cook, the physical player she is, goes off for a change. The ice look to make headway up with some speed is Kay Cairns. Cairns now Delane, trying to stick handle this to protect. Gets it down low, spins away from the check-in now. Vader Rigo plays it up to the point to Texiera. That shot almost through, but denied. Blocked up there by Norman Doe as the Selects able to get this one out with 10 seconds remaining on this penalty kill. Abby Dixon first one on it. Tied up there by Texiera. Able to just kick it out to her teammate in Delacqui to get that free as we are back to even strength. Texiera goes D-to-D again with Delacqui. Tries to feed it up the middle, but Kennedy Carrier gets in the lane there. Now this Selects team, maybe that penalty kill is what they needed to get some good momentum heading their way in this one. It's the Ice who are going to look to not allow that as they send it all the way out off the boards. That cross-ice pass missing the stick of Robbins. Played up the left side in the Selects end, cut off by Chablik. It's now held in at the point. Texiera sends this in deep. Blake Hawes, first one on it. On the backhand, chips this up the boards. Couldn't move it any further. Loose pocket there. Heading towards the net, picked up by Hallie Chablik. As Chablik trying to fend off the check-in of a few Selects players there. Carvalho got shut down on her way to the net by Hawes. Rimmed around again inside of the Select zone. But the Ice continuing to create fits. Another turnover forced as Kate Cairns in the corner tried to muscle that puck up, but Normando a good job to stay on her. Puck still in the corner. Normando now on it. Flips it up that left side. The Selects trying to chip and chase. They do chip, but the chase will be won by this Winnipeg Ice team. No icing call on the play. Just waved off at the last moment there. Walker, her pass to Ota a bit off. Out of her reach. Sent down low to Isabella Carrier, but missed her stick. Delaney Rigaud out for support for the Selects team now. Up the wall to Kay Cairns for the Winnipeg Ice as she tries to ram this one out. And it does finally trickle out for this Winnipeg Ice squad. Callie Remillard sends this in deep. Giving chase to Delaney Rigaud. Looking to force a turnover, but not quite yet. Now Cassie Carvalho. It will come in for support. Plays it up to Izzy. Man goes to Robbins. That was a bit behind number 9 there. Forced a turnover. This now played up. That shot turned aside from long ways out by Grunwald. Delaney Rigaud down low for the Selects team. Surveying her options. Goes up to the point for Alexi Remillard. That shot just wide of the net. Grazing that right post. That net occupied by Bailey Grunwald. The Selects hard on the forecheck here. Delaney Rigaud still out there. Finally goes off for a change as the Selects have this back in their own end. Up the boards and up to Kennedy Carrier. Feeds a pass through the Heidinger. Has Scott Cook with her. Over to Scott Cook this time. Oh, over the net again. Scott Cook. A bit of deja vu there that time. As it'll be the Winnipeg Ice who skated up again. Chipped in. It's sent in, given chase, is Talia Jones. She's able to win this forecheck pass into the slot. Ends up there! Oh, Labossiere denies. In tight, now onto the stick of Sophia Heidinger. She looks to work up the other way. Flips it up, Heidinger chases down this puck. Cuts to the middle. Oh, what a move by Heidinger. That shot, the rebound, scores! What magic from number 16 to set up. What's a rebound put in for number 13 and Kennedy Carrier following up on that rebound. But it's all Sophia Heidinger who creates this play. Starts off with her will, her effort to get into the Ice's zone. Flips this puck in, chases it down. And then she's going to show off that nifty stick work of hers. Such a good stick handler in tight. Makes 2 quick moves to make her way through. Puts a shot on net that was tough for Grunwald to handle. And what a play by Kennedy Carrier to follow up on that rebound. To put it into the net, brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry in Manitoba. As we got a tie game here from Niverville Rec Center. Dixon gets that to the slot. Hepner tried to send it right back, but had that cut off. As Hallie Chablik looks to work that puck up now. Couldn't quite as it was cut off. Schroeder tries to get that free to Isabelle Carrier, but couldn't. Normando flips this in now. Claire Hudson spins and fires off the boards up to Chloe Nicholas. Picked up by a man, delayed offside maybe here on the play. No, holds the line well. Good awareness from those forwards out there for the ice. Man ran out of space down low, just sends it to the opposite side of the rink. In the opposite zone, in the Eastman defensive zone, as I should say. As this flipped out, another 2-on-1 potentially developing. Carrier over to Delaney Rigaud. Was getting stick there. No call on the play. Could have seen that for maybe some interference or maybe a slash, a hook. One of those three calls could have been made, but weren't there from the referees. This puck failed to get cleared out here by this Winnipeg Ice squad. Passed up to Scott Cook. She drives her way in, offside on the play. Called there by the linesman right at the Selects bench. As this face-off draw will be coming just outside of the Winnipeg Ice zone, closest to our broadcast angle here. Scott Cook against Talia Jones. Jones gets the better of Scott Cook on this one. It's played D-to-D. Lazarenko feeds it up the middle to Jones. Jones goes to Gabby Robbins. Robbins drops it to Jones. It's Jones has her pass down low. Attempting to get it there, cut off by number 10 and Chloe Carrier. Gets this up off of the stick of Heidinger. Heidinger couldn't get to it. Another offside called there on the play. With 5:42 remaining in this period of action. Face-off draw closest to the Eastman Selects bench this time as Schroeder gets tied up on the draw there against Talia Jones. Fresh set of forwards out here for Laird LeLuc and his Eastman Selects. Same group remains out for Eugene Kaminsky's Winnipeg Ice for the time being. Puck sent all the way back down to the ice zone. Lazarenko first one on it. Texiera played it up as well. Now Talia Jones gives chase against Hepner. Can't get to it fast enough. Now it's Abby Dixon who chips this pass, but couldn't beat Lazarenko. That last line of defense to the puck. Now turned over again. Hepner has Dixon with her. Hepner looks to shoot, but goes high of the net on that chance. Rims around hard enough for the Ice to get a good transition going the other way. Hallie Chablik out there along with Robbins still out. Moisey out there too for this Winnipeg Ice squad. So they give chase. Isabella Carrier plays it up to Delaney Rigaud. Rigaud turns towards the boards, delays, tries to find a point girl in Callie Remillard, but she wasn't set in the zone yet. Lexi Remillard, rather, that is, who wears number 14. As Callie's the one who picks it up, plays it back to number 7 in Reese Beavis. Off the boards now the Selects go as Delaney Rigaud chips this in even deeper before going off for a change. That's Chloe Nicholas being contested there along the boards with Isabella Carrier. Got it to a safe spot back to the D. Now played up into the direction of Chloe Nicholas, who tries to chase down this puck but couldn't get a step on Veda Rigaud. This face-off draw will be coming back inside of the Winnipeg Ice zone. Texiera has to make her way back out onto the ice as she changed. A bit too late there for Claire Hudson. It's the Eastman Selects the Heidinger line out along with Kennedy Carrier, the goal scorer in this game, and Callie Remillard. This time around, Chablik wins the draw against Heidinger. It's a bit of a misplay from the ice behind their own net. A turnover resulted. Miscommunication there. Went off of, I believe, the back of Texiera's leg. The ice couldn't keep track of where that puck was. Thankfully, Grunwald's able to be tight on her post to make that huge save. It's this, Cassie Carvalho tries to chip this pass. Chloe Carrier but couldn't. Now onto the stick of Kate Cairns with 3:56 remaining in this period. This played up the right side boards for the Eastman Selects. Shan Scott Cook gets tied up along the boards there, rubbed out by a Winnipeg Ice player. Now Cassie Carvalho gets rubbed out down low. It's Carvalho out there along with Cairns going to work in the corner. They draw a penalty at that. So the Ice go into the power play for the next 2 minutes here, potentially, unless they're able to score quicker than that. But they'll get a 2-minute power play brought to you by Terrico for the next 2 minutes here with 3:33 remaining in this frame. Izzy Mann to take the draw for the Ice. Going up against, I believe, Danielle Hepner. Hepner won it strongly, and the Selects were able to send it all the way down. It's 2 minutes for boarding called on the play, as that stretch pass up will be off the mark for this Ice team. Sent out in again to the Ice zone by the Select squad. As Winnipeg's still trying to find some time to establish the zone here. Passed up. Lazarenko loses an edge after she got that to Carvalho. Carvalho cuts to the middle. Nice skating by number 16 as she continues to hold on to this one. Backhanded to the point. Lazarenko. She lets a blast go, but that unable to get through some traffic. The Selects get this back and send it all the way down. Back into the Winnipeg Ice zone where Bailey Grunwald out there to leave it for Lazarenko. Lazarenko looked like she wanted to leave it for Mann, but held on to it. Passed up to Delacqui. Delacqui up the right side. She delays up high, tries to get it back to Izzy Mann. This ends up down low, though. So now onto the stick of Gabby Robbins. Played up to Texiera. Quickly across to number 19, Delacqui. Back to Texiera. Texiera. Shot scores! And through a screen, number 2 has the second goal of the game here today for this Winnipeg Ice team to regain a 1-goal lead. As 43 seconds remained on that Shan Scott Cook penalty. And the Winnipeg Ice, throughout the first half of it, didn't have much offensive zone time established on that PP, but then they were able to establish the zone, went to work, and just a nice display of puck movement. A nice, accurate shot put on display by Texiera, finding its way through to the net. A CNI shot, you could say, as that went through a few bodies on its way through to that low glove side corner past Labossiere. And that goal brought to you by Terrico. The Ice back on top here, just like they led after the first period of action. So they were up 1-0 after the first 20. We're approaching the final minute of play here soon as the Selects look to get this back in. Chipping and going as Vader Rigaud. Her shot scores! Whoa, it looked like an impossible angle, yet won by Grunwald. Vader Rigaud said, I'm going to try to do the impossible. Did just that by threading it over the shoulder of Bailey Grunwald. And you didn't see it on camera, but Grunwald going right back to that position where she let that shot in. Trying to get her angles right. They're just a bit off there. And Vader Rigaud, not only can she pass that puck, but she can let it rip as well, as you just saw there. Saw an opening and took full advantage of it over top of the shoulder of Bailey Grunwald. As that goal, again, brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. With 1:18 remaining here in the second period. This one has the makings of another classic here on the network, folks. Would not be surprised if this one goes the distance into OT this afternoon with the Winnipeg Ice team that's been hitting their stride as the season goes along. The last time this Eastman Selects team lost a game was back on December 14th in Winnipeg against this Ice team. As the Selects look to turn it up here, Scott Cook has Kennedy Carey with her. Hudson in the lane to block that pass up though with her skate as this into the corner. Scott Cook going to work with Hudson. Hudson able to get out of it. Sends a pass up into the feet, to the skates of Chloe Nicholas. Hudson back on it again. Backhands this to Moisey. Moisey contested there well by Hepner as she forces the turnover. Heidinger will pick this puck up. Has her stick. Knocked away there. But Hepner in for good support. Tries to get it back to the point. Hepner along the half wall. Trying to chip that puck up and go. But the Ice doing a good job to contest there along the wall. Rebound there off of a loose puck. Couldn't get through the traffic of the Winnipeg Ice players. This rimmed around Claire Hudson. Looking to thread this up to connect with Chloe Nicholas, but right there, Lexi Remillard to take it away. Claire Hudson back with it again. Drops this back to Delacqui. Dixon coming in on the forecheck. Schroeder now trying to get there, but couldn't. This pass trying to get it all the way to Gabby Robbins, but she was covered up pretty well there as we hear the buzzer and the sound to signify the end of what was a very entertaining second period of action. 18-14 the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice in this game so far throughout 40 minutes. The Ice regained the lead within the last 2 minutes of that period, as you saw. But it would be the Eastman Selects who answered right back with an absolutely picture-perfect shot there moments ago from Veda Rigaud. Up and over the shoulder. Right under the bar to beat Bailey Grunwald. And yeah, a game where I think it's as advertised here. Both teams that have really strong forechecks, and they've been creating quite a lot off of those forechecks here this afternoon. We've had some rush chances in this game. A lot of, miscommunication at points between these two teams in their own respective ends. They'll both continue to look to shore up the little details in their game. So that could very well be the difference here coming up in the final 20 miles of regulation, aka the final 20 minutes of regulation this afternoon from Niverville, Manitoba. As it's the Selects and the Ice going to battle once again, and not disappointing so far. Tied 2-2 heading into the third and final period of regulation here on this Saturday afternoon edition of MFHL Game Day here on your home for hockey in Manitoba, here in the province. On gshow.ca on gshow Productions. Stick around, folks. We'll throw it to a promo screen as well as throw it to some commercials throughout this next intermission.
Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has been the place to shop for your industrial needs for over 20 years. Carrying the tools you need to get the job done from the brands you can trust, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools has you covered. Brands like Milwaukee Tool, established in 1924 and on display in our Milwaukee Red Zone, the largest red zone in Winnipeg. With construction workers and tradespeople in mind, Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools is your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So come on down to our Winnipeg store location today, located on 1557 King Edward Street in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Welcome back in, Manitoba female U18 AAA Hockey League fans, selects, and ice fans, as both teams head into this final 20 minutes of regulation in this Saturday afternoon tilt, tied at 2 apiece. Some pretty crazy happenings to end off that period, as the Winnipeg Ice would end up scoring to go up 2-1. With less than 2 minutes left in that period, and then moments later, about 30 seconds after, Vader able to find some space under the bar on a sharp angle to snipe one past top shelf on Bailey Grunwald to tie the game up at 2 apiece again. The goal scorer for the Winnipeg Ice in that period was Aaliyah Texiera. That goal came on the Winnipeg Ice's power play. And yeah, I mean, in terms of the story heading into this game, you kind of knew both teams were going to bring their best, right? Given how these teams match up in the standings. So we take a look here. To show you all. But yeah, the Eastman selects 12 points up on the Winnipeg Ice heading into this matchup. Last time these two teams faced off against each other was back on the 14th of December in 2024, where the Winnipeg Ice battled with the Eastman Selects hard, similar to this one. That game ended up going into overtime, where the Winnipeg Ice would end up finding the winner off of the stick of Wozniacki in that matchup. In a game where they kept coming at the Eastman Selects, didn't give them much space to breathe with the puck, force them to make quick decisions, and we've seen that play out again here today. And for an Eastman Selects team who, rather than thrive in their defensive zone, for the most part has just been surviving in it so far here this afternoon. They've done a good job of doing so. Those last-ditch efforts have paid off big time to this point, when there's been rebounds. And yeah, look for this Winnipeg Ice team to continue to come hard with the forecheck. Whichever team can establish their forecheck better in this period comes along most likely wins this game, given how smothering the attack gets once they get into the swing of things, get into their rhythm when attacking on the forecheck and cycling that puck around. But as for the rest of the action in the MFHL for this Saturday, the Brandon Wheat Kings going to be back at home to take on the Yellowhead Chiefs at J&G Homes Arena. Winnipeg Avros make a trip out to Portage to face off against the Central Plains Capitals, looking to bounce back and get back into the win column. And for the Interlake Lightning, they're going to be at home tonight to face off against the Westman Wildcats. Westman will be here tomorrow afternoon at 2:45 p.m. to face off against the Eastman Selects. Pembina Valley will be back in action tomorrow to face off against the Central Plains Capitals. And for the Brandon Wheat Kings, will be back at home again tomorrow to face off against the Interlake Lightning. This is how Week 11 has started off, as there were 4 games played last night. Some close ones in there, some decisive wins in there. It's Jessica Anderson with a huge game for herself, scoring a hat trick. Pembina Valley's best player, in fact, being their best player last night against a Westman Wildcats team who done a bit more winning than they had been recently, most recently, as I should see, as that team was on about a 9-game losing streak at one point this year. Gotten a win or two so far here in 2025, and yeah, looking to bounce back, of course, tonight in Stonewall, and looking to finish off strong in their Week 11 action here in Niverville tomorrow afternoon. As all games will be played in the afternoon tomorrow on what should be a very entertaining Sunday in the MFHL. Both teams making their way back out onto the ice now. As always, Sophia Heidinger will be the final one on the ice. Always gives her teammates fist bumps before they make their way out onto the ice. Superstitions from players. Actually, no, it's Hepner who ends up being the last one off. As Hepner heads towards her own end here. Her and Heidinger will start on the bench for this period. It's Callie Remillard along with Delaney Rigaud and Isabella Carey out there for the Selects to start off this third period of action. Brought to you by Mick Fasteners and Tools, as the ice early on established the zone here. Play quickly over to Wasdesensky's stick. Not quite there for number 8, as it trickled past her, out of her reach. Picks it up again, Wasdesensky now. She unloads that blocker into the netting. I won in Isabelle Labossiere. As Sophie Wasdesensky, Gabby Robbins, and Talia Jones make their way off the ice, getting some fresh legs out here early, as it's the top line out for the ice and Izzy Mansline winning that draw. That shot turned aside by Labossiere again off that point shot from Walker, as the Selects work a D-to-D and look for some space up ice to work this. They do just that, sending a long cross ice pass up to Isabella Carrier. Contested at the line, as the nice player got up in her grill. Forced a turnover as the Selects go off for a change. The Winnipeg Ice look to break out and break in the other way. But they'll be held up at their own blue line. D-to-D they go. Chaplik quickly into the middle with that pass, but off of the stick, turned over. Now onto the stick of Hepner. Has Abby Dixon with her Schroeder as well. As Hepner protects down low in the zone, places up to the point to Blake Hawes. Off of the boards, Hawes goes, and back down low where Hepner will get onto this puck once again. Out in front, low slot. Abby Dixon couldn't quite get a good handle on that one. Ends up into the crease and covered up by Bailey Grunwald. Also a net guard line on the ice that one of the linesmen picks up. Belongs to the Eastman captain and Abby Dixon, who has to go off for a change now, given that. Brings Sophia Heidinger back out onto the ice. It'll be Danielle Hepner who gets taken in to take this draw after Schroeder was kicked out of the face-off circle. Won by this Winnipeg Ice team and skated up by Moisey. Looking to challenge Hawes down that left side. Hawes stood up to her well, shutting her down off that rush attempt. This puck gets loose now into the ice zone as Heidinger hard on the forecheck. Big part of why this game, of course, became tied at 1 apiece. As Heidinger set up that first goal of the game for this Eastman Selects team with some nifty moves and a shot that gave Bailey Grunwald quite a bit of trouble. This down low in the Eastman Select zone. Chloe Nicholas has it on her stick. Protects this on the forehand out wide. Nice job by Heidinger. Come in, swooping to take that puck away from her. As the Ice have to break in once again. Wasdesensky down the left side being bombarded there by Beavis. She did a good job to angle her out along the boards. Gabby Robbins gets possession of this puck, sends this down deep. This Winnipeg Ice squad is this line of Robbins, Wasdesensky, and Talia Jones look to go to work on the forecheck. Jones had her stick caught in the end boards, had it snapped. You can hear it crisply from up here as well. Not sure if that caught up on the mic as crisply. So we heard it here in person. The skated up, busy man plays this pass up to Lazarenko, intercepted. So it was cut off well. Lazarenko now feeds this to the middle to Robbins. Tries to kick it up to herself, but couldn't. Picked up and turned over by the Selects. Chloe Carrier coming the other way. Has Scott Cook with her. Carrier shifting sides, looking for a wraparound chance out in front. That pass unable to go for a shot as Isabella Carrier sent it wide. In tight. Robbins, huge block on Vaderigo's shot. It's number 9. Warrior type of mentality there, goes off for a change. Getting some fresh legs on. As Blake Hawes back paddles a bit before sending this over just out of the reach of her D partner in Vaderigo. Hallie Chablik now trying to get an edge, a step on Blake Hawes, but couldn't. Forcing turnover on the forecheck there allows for this Winnipeg Ice team to set up back in the neutral zone, going D to D. Carvalho off her stick, just chips this in. Is back onto Blake Hawes' stick as she tries to go to Abby Dixon in the middle. Dixon couldn't bat that out of midair. This puck stays along the boards near the Eastman Select zone. Cairns loses an edge, no call here on the play. Now Abby Dixon has that taken away upon entry. D to D the ice go. Played up into the skates of Kate Cairns and all the way back into the Select zone as both teams kind of playing catch right now. Not able to maintain good possession of it. That pass just off the mark for Schroeder as Dixon tried to feed her up the middle seam. This puck goes off of the skate of Moisey, now back down into the Select zone. Beavis, good job to cut her off. Plays this opposite side to Lexi Remillard. Up the left side to Dixon. Can't feed that through the middle again as the Selects continue to keep forcing it there, but nothing doing right now for this squad. Beavis off the boards. Nice job by Delacqui to pinch in and jump in to cut that off. As the Ice keep this inside of the Select zone. Now a pass up to Heidinger, but she can't cradle that in off the backhand. Played up Wozdesensky. There for support, Talia Jones. Able to chip this in. And chips it past further in behind the goal line inside of the Select zone. Scott Cook almost forgot the puck on the way through. Now has this stripped away and it's picked up by Wozdesensky, but a nice defensive stick by Scott Cook high up in her own end to get that out, poking it away from Sophie. As this held in by the Selects, now sent all the way out down for an icing. As we'll get a stoppage in play here with 14:30 remaining. Really impressed with this Winnipeg Ice forecheck right now. Really aggressive inside of the neutral zone at the Eastman Selects blue line. And the Selects are looking to, feed passes through the middle, stretch passes up in the neutral zone. It's just not there for them right now. And the Winnipeg Ice are saying to themselves, hey, if you want to keep forcing the issue there, we'll continue to play the way we're playing and the opportunities will come in on this cycle as the Ice look to get it going. Walker, along with Chablik, try to get this away from Kennedy Carrier. Can't. Finally, a short pass connected on to Sophia Heidinger as Heidinger down the left side, turned aside by Grunwald. As that goes into the netting out of play behind the end glass. So I should say over the end glass. Shots 21-15 in favor of this Winnipeg Ice team. There's a straw one by Eastman for the time being, trying to get this loose puck back, but battling with the Ice to do so. As now Delaney Rigo has this stripped away by number 3 in Claire Hudson. The Selects try to force a turnover here, and nice little stick handling to evade the pressure was Kate Cairns there before sending a breakout pass out into the neutral zone. Played across. Claire Hudson has this cut off by Isabella Carey in the slot. That shot high of the net. It was Callie Remillard who came down to force the turnover there and fed Isabella in the slot. But still a tie game here. Of the Selects just seconds ago, so close. Yet so far as they missed that net on that chance in the slot. Picked up again by the Selects. Down below. the Ice's goal line. Grunwald couldn't get possession of that puck at the side of her net as she tried to smother it in. It's along the close boards. And still below the goal line inside of the Ice's end. Claire Hudson going to battle with a few Selects players, able to get that puck free and up ice. As it's now picked up by Talia Jones. Cuts to the middle, tries to find Robbins with that pass. Offside called on the play right before. That's 12:45 remains on the clock here. The crowd's gotten a bit tense here as well, as these fans waiting patiently, holding their breath here as both these teams tied at 2 apiece. Just over halfway in this period remaining. Draw one by the Selects. But that pass way off the mark for Hepner as it went off the boards onto the possession of Lazarenko's stick. D to Texiera feeds this up to Talia Jones. Jones got cut off, so it forced a turnover. Puck ends up back into the Winnipeg Ice zone now, where Texiera will be first one on it. Plays it up the right side to Gabby Robbins, who's contested there with Lexi Remlard. Up from her defensive position, no call on the play, as Robbins was taken down, lost an edge there on the play. Onto the stick, Lazarenko plays it up the boards, but not out. Now picked up Delaney Rigaud, trying to backhand that towards the net. Contested well by some Ice defensive sticks there, though, to not allow it to get through. Gabby Robbins picks this up off the boards, almost stripped away of that puck from Scott Cook. And she does get stripped away in the end as this puck continues to stay in the Winnipeg zone. Kennedy Carrier, shot turned aside as Heidinger was looking for that rebound, but smothered up by Grunwald. As this Selects forecheck coming to life all of a sudden in this period. Nice job by Lexi Remlard to pinch in and come down hard on Gabby Robbins there. Number 9 with some trouble to get that puck out. Had a few chances, but Eastman held the line strong. Then it went to Wasowski in the middle of the zone, where the Selects had numbers there to take it away again and forced a turnover and created a high-quality chance heading towards the Winnipeg Ice net. But Grunwald a bit too good there on the chance. Izzy Mann picks this up now, almost getting a shot on net, but not quite hard enough to register that on goal. So that stretch pass way too far for number 16 in Heidinger. So an icing results here in the play. Will be to the blocker hand side of Labossiere, as Izzy Mann, Carvalho, Chablik stay out on the ice. The captain of the Ice wins this back to Ota, plays it across to Walker. Walker is able to hold the line as this puck back in the corner for Mann, but the Selects able to get this all the way out. Will it be for an icing? And it will be. They've waved them off at points here this afternoon, so a bit uncertain on what these refs are looking for on these calls. That looked like a pretty tight race down to that puck, but Walker had enough of a step to win that race to the puck. The Ice able to get fresh legs out on the ice as well. Chloe Nicholas along with Kate Cairns and Moisey out on the ice. Draw one by the Ice, but good positioning by the Selects to take it away. Kennedy Carrier trying to maneuver away past Hudson, but shut down by number 3 at the line. It's now on to Moisey's stick. Drops this for Cairns. Unloads, huge block there by Chloe Carrier as that shot unable to get through. Now onto the stick of Kennedy Carrier, just past the red line. Sends that in deep. Goes off for a change. Giving chase, Callie Remillard against Delacqui. Passed up to Moisey. Has that sticked away, turned over onto Blake Haas's stick. As Haas sends that in all the way deep into the ice zone. No icing called on the play. It was close from where she sent that puck in. Was just past the red line. As Moisey feeds to the middle, but that pass off the mark for Nicholas. As the Selects control in their own end. Blake Haas, that pass way behind Callie Remillard, turned over into the Ice's possession. Selects get it right back, play it up the right side. Delaney Rigaud has a girl with her, decides to shoot. Rebound potentially there, but Isabella Carey was not in the right spot to receive it. Texiera being hounded there on the forecheck by Delaney Rigaud. The Ice look to clear this out, but off the body of a Selects player, so they have to regroup and reset in their own end now. Played up Gabby Robbins tries to send this cross ice. Hepner almost intercepting that, but it was just able to get past her by her stick. Lazarenko's blast upon entry right into the breadbasket of Labossiere. So with 9:32 remaining, shots now 22-18 in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. Izzy Mann back out to take the draw. Ends up winning this. Chablik was tied up to get that puck at first, but now it's Carvalho back on it down low, going to work with Beavis. It's her teammate Izzy Mann in support. Carvalho gets to this loose puck first, plays it up to the point to Walker. Walker towards the net, deflected there in front, redirected by Mann, but turned aside by the pad of Labossiere as this puck through the middle seam all the way out and back into the Winnipeg Ice zone. Short pass played onto the stick of Walker, who gets that up to Carvalho and played it up to Mann. Izzy Mann trying to dangle her way past Chloe Carrier, was stood up well there by the opposite number 10, forces a turnover into Eastman's possession. Kennedy Carrier locates a girl there. Vaderigo, her shot turned aside. Quick love by Bailey Grunwald. With 8:39 remaining left on the clock, 19th shot of the afternoon for the Eastman Selects. Another face-off draw inside of the Winnipeg Ice zone. Scott Cook, so good on the face-off draw, wins another one again. Vaderigo plays it to Heidinger. Back up top to Rigo. The most recent goal scorer in this game sends it down low into the direction of Heidinger. As Heidinger trying to stick handle through a phone booth here, as I should say, but had it taken away as the Ice chip this in. Turned over onto the stick. Kay Cairns makes a move to the outside. Couldn't evade the check-in of Chloe Carrier, however. Kennedy Carrier down low to help. Gets this loose to Veda Rigo as Rigo places up the middle to Scott Cook. Scott Cook busting through the zone now. We'll keep this on the back end. Out in front, backdoor pass. Can't quite connect with 13 and Kennedy Carrier as it's the Ice now going up the other way. That pass into Moisey's skates. A turnover force. Scott Cook back in again. Fans on this shot. Tried to get it back, but could not as she was contested well by this Winnipeg Ice team. The puck luck for one player in particular, and Scott Cook just has not been there this afternoon. She's had plenty of high danger chances. Not many shots registered on net though. A lot of shots sent wide of the net. That one this time around being fanned on. Got a kind of feel for number 15, who's been working hard and trying to get rewarded for her efforts here so far this afternoon, but this puck ends up back inside the select zone. Beavis off the boards, plays this pass up to the direction of Rigo, but got right past Rigo all the way back down into the Winnipeg Ice zone. Pressure forces a turnover. Selects looking to keep this down low, looking to keep the pressure going. As Remillard plays it off the boards. That intercepted though by the Winnipeg Ice, and one number 18, Lazarenko, who now meets the other number 18, and that was Isabella Carrier. The two got tied up along the penalty box boards there. Offside call on the play. Getting another stoppage here with 6:40 remaining in this period of regulation. 2-2. The score tied still. 19-22. The Selects trail in shots. Is this settled down by the Winnipeg Ice and sent into the neutral zone? Select send this one in deep. Getting some fresh legs out on the ice as well. Cassie Carvalho remains out there for the Winnipeg Ice. So she looks to chip this all the way down, but ends up deflecting into the Eastman Selects bench. And out of play. Got another face-off coming up here, right outside of the Eastman Select zone. Shan Scott Cook on the draw, wins it again towards her bench this time. Scott Cook tracks down this puck again, but loses it. As Normando gives chase, trying to be the first one on it here for the Eastman Selects team. Plays it up the left boards where it'll be Heidinger trying to send it out. Can't get past a Winnipeg Ice player. Now here's Hudson activating into the zone. Backhand shot turned aside by number 1 and Isabelle Labossiere. 5:36 remaining now. Hudson able to get loose from that defensive position. Shown a willingness to step up in the play here so far this afternoon and almost reward there with what would have stood as the game-winning goal for the time being. As this ends up down low along the wall. At the point, Moisey going to battle with Scott Cook. Scott Cook just able to get this out. Heidinger tried to poke it past Hudson, but a good defensive stick there for number 3. Heidinger back on it now. Looks to delay. Somehow maneuvers up the boards, but sticked away finally by Claire Hudson. Cairns cuts off Scott Cook while down low. Cairns, though, has her pocket picked as this puck remains down low inside of the Eastman Selects offensive attack. As that pass through the middle can't go, Scott Cook was there to intercept it. Cut off the angle well. She goes off for a change. Gonna get a fresh set of legs on. That's Callie Remillard who enters onto the ice. With under 5 minutes to go now in this period, the Ice with a bit of problems with this puck down low in their own end, trying to get this out. Working it out, finally cross ice through the neutral zone, and this all the way down for an icing. Set up a face-off right inside the Winnipeg Ice zone. Isabella Carrier tried to angle through down low by the side of in behind the Winnipeg Ice net, but was shut down there by Delacqui. Delacqui played it over to Hudson. Hudson couldn't take that pass cleanly, however. So this goes up the left boards, but still held in below the goal line inside of the Winnipeg Ice zone. Cross ice pass fed through. This time won't be hard enough to get down for an icing. As first one on it, Chloe Carrier. As Carrier up to Schroeder. Schroeder couldn't clear the line, though. So the Ice did a good job to contest there. Loose puck now picked up by Talia Jones, making her way towards the net, spins towards the boards to try to evade some checking. Delaney Rigaud gets taken down into the ice. No call on the play. Out in front into the slot. No one there for the Winnipeg Ice to capitalize on. This sent all the way in. Grunwald to cover it up with 3:08 remaining here now. Face-off draw won by the Winnipeg Ice. D to Texier. Plays it up the boards to Cairns. Cairns chip not quite hard enough to get out. As Cassie Carvalho knows there's nothing much up ice. We bring this Winnipeg Ice team success right now, so just played it back, trying to be patient here on the breakout. If they finally do break into the select zone, but taken away by the selects right away. This onto the stick of Mann, redirects this in, past the goal line onto the stick of Beavis. Plays it D to Lexi Remillard. Loose puck onto the stick of Schroeder, gets this up to Heidinger. Heidinger tried to feed it across to Kennedy Carrier, couldn't, decides to just send this in deep now. Us Carrier giving chase on the forecheck. Same with Heidinger. Heidinger able to get possession of this puck. Muscles her way up that wall almost. Scott Cook in for support to pick up that loose puck, and she has it on her stick again. Off the boards, up to Lexi Remillard. Remillard tries to fire a pass back to Scott Cook. Now onto the stick of Kennedy Carrier, but the Selects can't do anything with it. It's Robbins heading the other way now with Cassie Carvalho. Over to Carvalho! That just over her stick! On a saucer pass feed back door from Robbins. What a way that could have been to get this Winnipeg Ice team back up top. And Robbins had the right idea on that pass too. The Eastman Selects defense doing a good job of taking away that cross-ice pass as best as she could. Had the stick laid out. So what does Robbins decide to do? Just put it over the stick, but the hop just a bit too much over the stick of Carvalho. So with 1:38 remaining, an offside called here on the play. Still scoreless in this period specifically. 2-2 in this game here this afternoon. Shots 23-21. Very close all around between these two teams. Of course, their first meeting back since the last game went into OT in this season series. It was Sophie Wozdesensky who was able to play hero. She's out on the ice once again. It's looked dangerous too, along with her line mates today. As we're approaching the final minute of action here coming up in this third. Claire Hudson being hassled there by Hepner along the boards. Hudson able to have some good support, and Talia Jones, as Jones played this free to a teammate. We're down to the last minute of play now officially. Delacqui, just before the blue line, sends this in deep, as it allows for Talia Jones to go after it. Being pinned up along the boards by Chloe Carrier. Nice job by Carrier to move that puck up. Turnover forced. Carvalho, now her shot turned aside. Rebound there, man, trying to get to it, but unable to, as Labossiere smothers this one up. With 41.5 seconds remaining in this period of regulation, Izzy Mann's line out to face off against Caitlin Schroeder's. Both wait patiently. Mann ends up winning the draw. Back up to the point to Lazarenko. That shot through, but wide of the net. Mann was looking for the tip, didn't get it. Into the corner for number 10. The captain plays this down low for Carvalho. Tries to behind the back pass this out in front, but contested. Well, cut off to Kate Cairns. Lazarenko just able to hold the line. Gets this down low to Cairns. And Cairns sends it below the goal line into the direction of Carvalho. Cairns couldn't get that into the slot. She was trying to locate the low slot with that pass as this gets sent all the way down into the ice zone. Icing called on to the captain of the Eastman Selects, and Abby Dixon. With 7.8 seconds remaining now on the clock. Izzy Mann, maybe one more chance for the Ice to get a chance. This draw, one. Lazarenko turned aside. Mann being held up. No call on the play as well, as Schroeder took away her stick completely as Mann was trying to get loose to get to that rebound. I'm surprised, honestly, that doesn't get called for interference there. With how this game's been called this afternoon, usually call the refs would make, but regardless, Winnipeg Ice pressing late just couldn't quite be rewarded on those chances late in that period. But we're going to be going to overtime here. Overtime rules is as follows in this league. 5 minutes of OT time. If neither team scores after the 5 minutes, we go into a shootout. And both teams right now deciding who they're going to send out onto the ice. Now, I believe, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head if it's 3 on 3 or 4 on 3. Or 4 on 4, sorry, or 3 on 3. So yeah, Last time these two teams played, it went into overtime. It was Sophie Wozdesensky who ended up winning it. It is 4-on-4 in this league. Had a feeling it was, just wanted to wait to confirm it. And with that, some big-time players out onto the ice. Shannon Scott Cook to square off against Talia Jones in the face-off circle here at center ice. And we're off here for period number 4 in this Saturday afternoon MFHL game day affair between the Eastman Selects and the Winnipeg Ice. Almost a costly turnover there by Vader Rigaud into the skates of Gabby Robbins. This played up to Sophie Wozdesensky. OT hero last time out. Goes down one-on-one on Vader Rigaud. Protects this puck well. Rigaud, good job to stick with her. As Wozdesensky cuts towards the net. Oh, nice job by Hepner at that last second to take that stick away from Wozdesensky as she got through the check-in of Vader Rigaud. Hepner off the boards, playing this now out of the zone as Vader Rigaud comes in for support. Swoops in to take this puck out of the Eastman defensive zone. Eastman plays it right back into their own end, looking to regroup here. Heidinger plays it right back across with the saucer pass to Hepner. Hepner feeds it through the middle, but off the stick of Callie Remillard. Remillard tries to get it back with a pickpocket attempt, but couldn't. This puck now turned over into the neutral zone and onto the stick of Lazarenko as Chloe Nicholas with her, Carvalho went off of her stick. Now onto the stick of Kate Cairns. Plays it down low to Carvalho. Up top to Mann. That shot wide of the net. Just over a minute's been played here in this overtime period. Vader Rigaud, misplay here on the puck. Carvalho in the slot, scores! And they've done it again, this time in Niverville. This time around, instead of Wozdesensky, it's Cassie Carvalho who plays hero. Disaster for number 17 in Vader Rigaud, as she ends up getting beat cleanly in that corner. Puck management talked about how key it was going to be this afternoon between these two teams. And in fact, it's an unfortunate break on the puck management for Vader Rigaud that goes against this Eastman Select squad this afternoon as they fall for the first time in the loss column since December 14th, where the Winnipeg Ice beat them then as well. The second straight matchup of the season series that goes into overtime. What a game we were treated to this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 27-21 were the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. Bailey Grunwald picks up another win here on the season. Isabelle Labossiere stays perfect in terms of no regulation losses still on the season. It's her third loss of the year. All have come in extra time so far, but yeah, it wasn't just Veda today, but really the whole Eastman Select squad in the defensive zone as a unit didn't play their sharpest. I thought that they cleaned some things up as this game went along, but that Winnipeg Ice, their pressure proven to be a bit too much once again against Eastman here this afternoon. And with that, if we take a look at the standings, in the Manitoba Female Hockey League now, this opens the door for the Winnipeg Avros to get back into sole possession of first place, as they'll be taking on the Central Plains Capitals this evening. For the Winnipeg Ice, they're now 10 points back of the Avros, and 11 points back of the Eastman Selects, that is, as Eastman earns a point in this overtime victory, now at 43 with a 20-win, 1 regulation loss, and 3 extra time loss record. We'll get into our players of the game now. Here brought to you by, for the losing side, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia on the Eastman Selects. For me today, I really like the game of Sophia Heidinger. I thought that she put in a tremendous amount of work throughout this game and was rewarded with that great work ethic, as we saw, setting up that first goal of the game for this Eastman Selects team. And yeah, she was all over it today. in terms of big factor on the forecheck for this Eastman Select squad inside of the Winnipeg Ice Zone. I thought that she made some really high-level plays with the puck this afternoon, and yeah, she gets rewarded with Player of the Game this afternoon for the Eastman Selects. As for the Winnipeg Ice, and their Player of the Game brought to you by Midcanada Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. I really like the game today of Gabby Robbins, and she gets rewarded with the Player of the Game. She ends up following up on a rebound on that first goal of the game. She was just such a difference maker on the forecheck this afternoon. Made some high-quality passes, as we saw throughout this game. Had a great nose for the net, and yeah, that line was, in my opinion, the strongest today for the Winnipeg Ice. Just a bit stronger than their top line, which is Izzy Mann, Cassie Caravallo, and Hallie Chablik. But yeah, that line of Wozniacki, Jones, and Robbins really got it going, got the momentum building the right way for this Winnipeg Ice team. And Robbins, in my opinion, stood out the most out of the three on that line this afternoon. So she gets Player of the Game, had a goal in this matchup as well. Brought to you by McKenna Fasteners and Tools. Visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. Of course, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. We're going to have a chance to see these two teams play against each other again shortly coming up here. They won't have to wait almost a month for the next one, as on Wednesday night, MFHL Game Day returns at the Hockey for All Center as the Eastman Selects travel to Winnipeg to take on the Winnipeg Ice in a rematch. Eastman looks to get back in the win column tomorrow as the Westman Wildcats will be coming into town. As for the Winnipeg Ice, as we take a look here, they'll be getting the rest of the weekend off. Ending off this week, 11 action, 2-0. Starting off with a 5-0 win on Wednesday against the Interlake Lightning. Puck drop for Eastman and Westman tomorrow is at 2:45 p.m., everybody. I've been your host and play-by-play commentator, Graham the G-Show Forsyth, for another edition of MFHL Game Day. This is going to conclude our post-game show and our broadcast here this afternoon. Special thanks to you, the viewer, for tuning into this one, as well as a special thanks to our sponsors in Midcanada Fasteners and Tools, Terrico Goaltenders, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for sponsoring another edition of MFHL Game Day and continuing to support the coverage of Manitoba Female U18 AAA Hockey League hockey coverage here in the province of Manitoba. The Winnipeg Ice, they do it again against the Eastman Selects. This time, Cassie Caravalho winning in overtime, 3-2 on this Saturday afternoon, January 11th in 2025. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.